Tonight on Evening, a weapon of war transformed into art, the world premiere of the MiG-21 Project. We're giving away tickets to Pixar's latest movie, Elio.
So excited, I'm so excited.
And this is the most popular tree in Olympic National Park.
I think it's just amazing.
Find out why it has so many fans.
Welcome to the show from the Museum of Flight in Tukwila. I'm St. Brian, and we are here for the world premiere of the MiG-21 Project, a weapon of war transformed into a work of art.
I just love how clean it is, and then I love the little details.
South African artist Ralph Zeeman did not do this alone. He says it has taken 100 artists from Johannesburg to Los Angeles, 6 years, and tens of millions of beads to make this colorful statement about global arms trading.
The MiG-21 is the most prolifically produced supersonic fighter jet of all time, something in excess of 12,000 of them.
This is the third part of Zeeman's trilogy, Weapons of Mass Construction.
We started off with the AK-47 that's killed more people than HIV/AIDS and the atom bomb. They think there's, 100 million of them in circulation. The second was a South African armored vehicle called the Casper.
Beating a 48-foot Russian-made MiG-21 is no small project. There were times Zeeman wondered what he had gotten himself into.
The aircraft is in your studio and you look at it and you go, the surface area, the wings, the tail fins, everything.
Everything is covered. The cockpit, a beaded jamboree.
So this is the afterburner. The inside of it is all done in beads as well.
Artists, separated by languages, cultures, and 10 time zones, came together to elevate beadwork into fine art. Do not miss the Afrofuturistic flight suits in the museum's Red Barn.
It's so many people bringing their skills and working in harmony.
Turning symbols of oppression into positive works of art.
You can see the MiG-21 Project here at the Museum of Flight starting on Saturday. It runs through January 26th of next year. Have you heard about the Farm to Table Trails? That's the name of a program that offers 9 different ways to explore Northwest Washington's food, farming, and fishing cultures. I got to check out the cream of the crop loop, which is outside Blaine.
Nothing better than a perfect strawberry.
Our first stop is Barbie's Berries in Ferndale, a 30-acre farm made up mostly of patches, hiding plump, juicy strawberries.
Take a bite. It tastes like jam.
Barbie Kraft says her farm has become a place where families can bond by the bucket load.
They bring the kids out to get an experience. They get filthy dirty, they eat mud, and they just know where their fruit comes from.
Our next stop takes us to Custer, home of a livestock ranch called Widener Farms.
I'm really lucky. I have 3 feral little kids that get to do this alongside me, but they live a pretty wonderful life.
Brianna Wyden and her family are bridging the gap between farm and consumers. Once a year, they even host a farm-to-table dinner. They also have a shop, open Saturdays, right there on the farm.
And it stays pretty busy. My favorite part is that people get to come onto the farm and actually meet their farmers, see how the livestock is raised, and pick up their premium proteins.
Our loop features a number of farm stands. In June, you can stock up on colorful flowers at Cascade Blueberry Farm. This one's already been claimed. Kevin Maddox says he often has to explain to visitors that blueberries themselves are a late summer crop.
Because of supermarkets and the way we transport food around this planet, globally, people just aren't aware of where food's coming from, what time of the year it's actually being grown.
In the city of Blaine, we caught up with another kind of farmer, Mark Seymour of Drayton Harbor Oyster Company, hauling in 100 dozen oysters from a bed half a mile away.
I say our sea to store record is 13 minutes.
That means that I harvested oysters from the farm. I probably didn't obey the speed limit in the marina and got oysters on ice in 13 minutes, and that's kind of who I am and who we are.
The oysters here are so fresh, you're going to need some extra napkins. Another can't-miss restaurant on the trail is the Vault Wine Bar and Bistro.
We will have the most seasonal and fresh food in our area showcased on our menus.
And in the summertime, most of the food is sourced within 25 miles of Blaine. On the farm-to-table trails, you'll find a new appreciation for fresh, farmed food.
And that is just one of 9 different trails that you can take. You can find printed maps throughout Whatcom County. And of course, we've got all the information you need on our website, king5evening.com. Happy travels and happy eating. So what happens when you combine an indoor dog park with beer? Well, the answer is in Woodinville.
Hi, Lucy Lou.
If you're in the market for some absolute joy,
Good girl.
step inside ALS and Tails. It's basically guaranteed.
A dream come true.
Owner Taz Logan turned nearly 6,000 square feet of warehouse space into her ideal hangout. An indoor dog park and tap room merging her passion for craft beer, an industry she's worked in since 2009, and dogs, who she trains and shows.
Baker, hi, buddy. What you doing? People are not offended when I remember their dogs' names and not theirs. I can almost tell you who's barking by the bark. Like a baby cries, moms always know.
Doggy daycare is available Monday through Friday, and in the evenings, ALS and Tails opens for park play and pints.
My dogs are behind the bar.
16 rotating tabs feature craft beer from around the Northwest, and there are also non-alcoholic choices, including one for the four-legged crowd.
I do have a beer made for dogs by another local company.
There are 3 requirements for entry. Dogs need up-to-date vaccines, humans need to be 21 or over, and
you have to be a dog lover.
But not a dog owner. Plenty of people come in just for the atmosphere. Everyone is welcome to toss a ball, decorate the walls, or simply sit and stay.
No breed restrictions, no size restrictions.
Just one big happy pack.
Harper is the first lifetime member here. The idea of an indoor dog park just really caught our attention with all the rain, half the year. It's just a good environment for people and dogs both.
It's the place Taz Logan dreamed about. The ALS, the Tails, and the way both can enhance our lives.
Every dog is a learning experience and endless love, constantly.
ALS and Tails, they're open every day of the week in Woodinville. I was especially intrigued by a line about the local company that makes beer for dogs. They're called Bowser Beer, and they make beefy brown ale or chicken-flavored cockadoodle brew. Drink up.
Up next, a look at the new movie from Pixar that's out of this world. And later, spot whales, learn history, and fuel up at this Native American-owned coffee place on Whidbey.
Wow!
Local stories make a difference.
I want to check that out.
With the power to enrich lives, strengthen communities, and make us smile. Evening is made possible by Primera Blue Cross. Primera Blue Cross, always in your corner.
Welcome back to the show from the Museum of Flight. It was here recently that I interviewed 2 people deeply involved in the making of the new Pixar animated space adventure, Elio.
Okay, come and get me.
You okay?
I'm trying to get abducted by aliens.
Elio is the story of a grieving boy so lonely and desperate for connection, he feels like his best chance for friendship is literally out of this world. We met Jonas Kibriup, who gives voice to the title character in the Apollo exhibition.
So can you imagine spending time, days and days in one of these things?
I know, it doesn't look very comfortable. That guy in there looks kinda oof.
The idea for Elio was born during the pandemic, when we were all feeling kinda oof.
A lot of us were feeling lonely. We actually had the opportunity to talk with the Surgeon General about the epidemic of loneliness, and so that really started to be a touchstone for the film.
You need to make friends. I just want to belong somewhere. So if any aliens are listening, please come and get me. Okay, bye, I love you.
Elio's request is answered, and he soon finds himself in the Communiverse, an intergalactic meeting place where he's mistaken for the leader of Earth. Producers talk to experts at the SETI Institute to come up with their extraterrestrial characters.
All the aliens, we tried to have them not look like humans. Some don't have faces, some of the characters don't have eyes. They all speak different languages. It's a really wild kind of space you've never seen before.
I'm so excited, I'm so excited.
Best of all, Elio finally makes friends, especially with Gordon, the son of a warmonger. Jonas didn't know what Gordon looked like until he saw the trailers.
Hi, Dad. I'm a bargaining chip.
It fits so perfect. I mean, he's this cute, cuddly, toothy worm-looking alien, and he would definitely be Elio's best friend.
Pixar definitely found the right actor to play Elio.
Have you ever seen people walking on the moon? Can you do the moonwalk?
Oh.
Yes, that first one was Michael Jackson, but this is how they walk on the moon.
You may be laughing now, but producer Mary Alice Drum says the goal of Elio is to leave its mark on your heart.
Someone challenged us. That person said to me at one point we were working on the movie, if you don't make me cry 3 times or else you guys have failed. And I was like, oh my God, that is such a high bar. So I hope, Saint, that we can get you to cry 3 times.
Until then, as you say on Earth, okay, bye, I love you.
Okay.
Bye.
I love you.
Elio is rated PG and opens in theaters Friday. It has scored an 82 out of 100 on Rotten Tomatoes. Want to see it for free? We're not going to make you wait. We're giving away a Fandango Family 4-pack to see Elio. You don't need to be abducted by aliens to win. Just find our Elio post on Instagram or on Facebook and leave a comment. And good luck! As summer approaches, we don't want to spend an awful lot of time in a hot kitchen. Well, good thing that Chef Tom Douglas has the perfect recipe for us. He joins us from his home in North Seattle.
As the weather warms up, we want to use our stove less and less and less. And so all we have for this dish really is a little bit of saute and a little bit of boiling water for our pasta. This takes about 10 minutes to cook, and it's called fregola, and it's from Sardinia. And what I love about this is it's like couscous. It's a small ball of semolina pasta, but they toast it first before they sell it to us, and then it puffs up and gets bigger as it gets whole. One of the cool ingredients that I find in the supermarket now is these garlic and ginger paste. These in the produce aisle now are a really convenient way to keep fresh ginger and fresh garlic at your fingertips. So I've cut up my asparagus, I've got my sweet peas, my mushrooms. I give the mushrooms a little bit of a head start. And basically I'm just gonna put a squeeze of ginger and just give that a quick little saute. As you can see, we're not at the hot stove kitchen right now. We're at my kitchen in North Ballard, where I have a really nice setup, kind of half home kitchen, half commercial kitchen. And I designed this 25 years ago, and it still to this day is one of my favorite things about the house. My pasta is already cooled off. This is a room temperature salad. I'm gonna pop some olives in there. We have beautiful tarragon right now. Just put the whole leaves right in. I love tarragon. We're going to dress it with our lemon juice. Trying not to let those seeds get in there. Olive oil. I have a little bit of another favorite ingredient in my pantry, a little preserved lemon olive oil. So basically we're making almost like a vinaigrette with our lemon juice and our olive oil. So we're gonna stir, stir, stir. Love these big wide rims, kind of salad entree soup bowls. Another local ingredient, another no-cook ingredient. We're gonna go in with our St. Jude's tuna, and you can put a chunk on the top, like that, or you can break it up. Just kind of push it down a little bit. Doesn't that look delicious? When your chives go to blossom, that doesn't mean that you're done with your chives, right? So I like to take the little purple blossoms from your chives and just sprinkle on top. How pretty does that look? We're gonna finish with a little bit of pepper. And my friends, that is a summertime entree that you can use all season long.
All right, thank you, Tom. Looks almost too good to eat. You can find Tom's salad recipe on our website.
The Whitby Coffee Shop, honoring local tribes one cup at a time.
Welcome back to the show from the Museum of Flight. If you're like me, you can always use a little more caffeine. Well, there is a waterfront coffee house on Whidbey Island where our area's native history is all part of the experience. At Beavertails Coffee in Coopville, there's always a lot more brewing than what goes into the cups.
We like to say coffee is the conduit, but people are the glue, because we're all about building relationships and community and giving back.
Tony and Michelle Clodespid are the owner-operators of this coffee shop and cafe, located on the historic Coopville Wharf, built in 1905. He is a member of the Swinomish tribe. She is an adopted member of the Tlingit tribe in Alaska. This pier and their coffee house sits over land and water held by indigenous people for generations.
It is Lower Skagit territory. And the Lower Skagits are part of the Swinomish tribal community.
Inside, that legacy is honored with many details. You can find Tlingit Kick, or Elders Roast Coffee, roasted on site by Tony. You can purchase pieces by Native American artists and discover local history on every tabletop. The Tails in their name is spelled that way for a reason.
There's not a time you can come in here that we're not telling stories or sharing history.
To accompany the stories here, try a Bigfoot mocha with cinnamon and cayenne, or one of Whidbey's best breakfast sandwiches. This is also the only coffee shop we've ever seen that has a gray whale skeleton in the entrance. There's a good chance of seeing one on the water here as well, since the cafe is located on Washington's Whale Trail.
There is a bell out there, by the way. If people see whales, they will ring a bell.
This ambitious place has even bigger goals: to build a community center focused on indigenous culture and education.
I want you to come get your coffee here. I want you to eat and be full and be happy when you leave. But it's just a tool to be able to achieve our long-term goal, which is our cultural center here on the wharf.
Michelle and Tony met pulling together on a tribal canoe, and they clearly enjoy pulling together to make Beavertails something bigger than just a coffee shop.
We're good as a team. We got a job, we got a mission. We're all here for a reason, and we're here to fulfill our gift and what our job is supposed to be.
Beavertails Coffee in Coopville, they are open every day of the week except for one day. That day is Tuesday.
Up next, visit the iconic Tree of Life in the Olympic National Park. Now in our 39th season, Evening shares local stories that make our community shine. Thanks to support from PEMCO Insurance. PEMCO empowers the Northwest to prevent the preventable. Learn how at PEMCO.com.
Welcome back to the show. Our final story is about a tree. There's a tree on the Olympic Peninsula that is drawing thousands of visitors and capturing all imaginations. Photojournalist Diane Lewis-Torrey drove out to the coast to find out why.
In Claylock, on the Washington coast, people from all over the world come to stand in wonder and take pictures of a tree like no other.
It's very unique.
Some people call it the Tree of Life.
I think it's awesome.
It's also known as Tree Root Cave. The tree's labyrinth of roots are visible, supplying the tree with life despite having no soil.
It just kind of suspended in the air, and I think it's just amazing. It looked like it eroded from underneath it, and it's still continuing to grow.
It almost appears immortal.
It's kind of a miracle because the roots is the base of everything. So when it's living without the roots in the ground, you kind of want to see more of the tree and kind of see how it's living.
I keep noticing all the little buds on the tip of the tree, so you know that it's still thriving.
Some say it's magical, so they leave rocks of wishes and love.
Basically, they're new chapters in life on a rock.
Compared to last year, the tree has slumped several inches.
Erosion, the ground literally got swept out from underneath it, and he said, I got this. And the tide comes in every day and sweeps out more sand, more dirt, and it's just adapted every day.
The storms will never end. The tree's fate is on the wind.
Stood the test of time.
All right, thank you, Diane. Now to see the Tree of Life, you want to stop at the campground parking lot at Claylock, head down to the beach, head north, and it's right there. Oh, and don't climb on the tree. You're only supposed to appreciate it. Well, that is going to do it for us from the Museum of Flight. Thanks so much for watching. Hope to see you next time.